I don't know if they want me telling you this, but hey, what's up you guys? It's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome to my channel. So today I thought I'd sit down and make a video about how I got my job at TJMAXX and kind of just answer your guys' questions that I got on my The Truth About Working at TJMAXX video. Before I took a break off of YouTube like 3 months ago, the video had maybe 2,000 or 3,000 views, and then now it has 12,000 views. So thank you for that. And if I got any new subscribers off of any of my TJMAXX videos, maybe this will be interesting for you guys. So without any further ado, I guess I'll just get right into it. Okay, so I started TJMAXX when I was 16 years old. I know I mentioned that in my video, but this is just for some preface if maybe some people don't know what I'm talking about and this is your first time seeing a video of mine. I started working at TJMAXX when I was 16. I was in high school. My parents just kind of pushed me out of the nest, and when I turned 16 they said, get a job. This video will be explaining really the whole process and how to go about applying and stuff like that, to just kind of help you guys out from somebody who's been there. I had to go in and apply, so I walked into the TJMAXX, and now what will happen is when you go to the checkout counter where all the cashiers are, at the end I would just, you know, ask for an application, or like go up to one of the cashiers and say, can I please have an application? I wouldn't really necessarily word it as, are you hiring? Because a lot of times the newer people will just assume no, or they'll ask a manager and the manager will say no, and now you don't get the application, and now they don't have one for you in case they are hiring in the near future. So the way I would word it when you're going up to get an application is, oh, can I please have an application? And just word it like that, not are you hiring, can I please have an application? So we always keep them in like a little drawer area, or at least at my TJMAXX we did, by the end of the counter before you walked out. So somebody will give you a paper, and then the next step is just to fill it out. Now you could go home and then bring it back later, or you could sit there and fill it out. At this point I didn't want to waste any gas because I didn't have a job, so I sat there and I filled it out. It took about 10 to 15 minutes. You just need to know basic information, so I would definitely bring your ID. I mean, the application wasn't hard. It was probably 2 to 3 pages, and that was really it. And then I turned it back into the cashier. So I got a call back. This was a main question too. When did I finally get a call back after turning in an application? And I got a call back about a week after turning out in an application. So I got a call, and in that call they said that they were interested in me, but they'd like to do a face-to-face interview. So I have a lot of people ask me what I wore to the interview. I kind of just wore a casual dress with like some booties. I wasn't super dressy, but I wasn't super casual. It's kind of like a business casual look. I met with one of the managers. So a lot of times people ask me what questions were asked during the interview, and genuinely, because it was 7 years ago, I don't remember. But one thing I do remember is they asked me if I would, what like I was doing in school, or what subjects I was taking or something, and I remember saying I was taking AP Bio, and then they also asked me why I think I could be a good team member. I know those are the 2 questions they asked me. I would really recommend just knowing things like that, like what would you do in this situation, or just kind of think about different situations that you could face in a retail setting, because they might ask you that. They may also ask you what would make you a good team player or a good team member, or something along those lines. They might ask you, you know, your availability, because if you're in high school or college or whatever the case, they're going to ask you that because your availability might not fit the schedule in which they're hiring. Mine did, luckily, because I could work nights and also weekends. That is a huge plus. Okay, once again, I'm just speaking for my store, but I know that they loved people who could work weekends, especially weekend nights. That was something that they really looked for. So if that is something that you could do, make that known. Like, go ahead and like emphasize on that. That would be awesome, because a lot of times college kids, and I did work with a lot of college kids wouldn't want to work on the Saturdays, so the new people needed to want to work, because you kind of get grandfathered in as you're there for, I don't know if they want me telling you this, but as you're there for a longer period of time, you kind of get to be able to morph your schedule into what you want, with reasoning, but with limitations. But you know what I mean, it starts to become more lenient that way. But when you're first hired, you kind of have to earn that spot or that privilege, if that makes sense. Next, a lot of people ask me how long it took me to actually get the call back that I got the job, and it probably took a week. Now, what I would say is, if at any point during you turning in an application or you meeting with them and them not calling you back, like having a face-to-face interview, if they don't call you back right away, it's okay to call. Now, I'm not saying hound them. I'm not saying call like 3-4 times if they don't call you back. But if you call once or twice, it just shows that you're interested and that you really do want this position. I know a lot of people think that it looks thirsty to do, but genuinely, if I probably wouldn't have got a call back, I would have called. Or anytime I had a question, I wasn't afraid to call. So you know what I mean? So just be confident and put yourself out there and make it seem like you really do want this job, and they notice that, you know what I'm saying? So that's just something to think about as well. So the whole process of me getting hired took about a month. That's from the time I turned my application in to the time I did the interview, then got the call back from the interview that I got the job. So definitely give yourself some time. If you're going to apply, don't apply and you need the job in a week. Do some planning ahead. Make sure that you have yourself set for the next month and that you don't need the job ASAP, because it can take some time. If you're looking to switch jobs, do not quit your job right away. Make sure that you get hired and then kind of do the transition, because this process can take a while. So another thing people ask me all the time is, what was the dress code? And the dress code was kind of casual. You are not allowed to wear denim jeans though, only on certain days. I don't know if they changed that though since I've left, because sometimes people can wear denim on Fridays. I think that's like a fundraiser thing though. So I don't know about the denim for sure, but when I worked there was no denim allowed. You weren't allowed to wear yoga pants or leggings unless you had a long sweater that covered your butt. That was a dress code for girls. Guys, I don't think you were allowed sweatpants. I never really saw a guy in sweatpants, even in the home goods section where you're lifting a lot and stuff. I never saw a guy with sweatpants on, to my knowledge. I don't know. I feel like that would be a dress code violation. They want you to wear, for girls, black jeans, skirts that cover your knees, business pants if you want to. You don't have to, but you can. Also, be reasonable in the top area. I know they don't like a lot of cleavage going on. And that's really it. For guys, oh, this was a big one too. And once again, this was when I worked there and I just quit maybe a year ago. But at the time, you weren't allowed to have anything that had logos on it. So no Victoria's Secret pink for girls. I don't think you were allowed to wear Adidas shirts, Nike shirts, anything that had a symbol on it, you weren't allowed to wear. So I think I hit all the main questions. If you guys have any more, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Or if you want me to make a video dedicated on anything else that's TJMAXX, I feel like I'm somewhat of a pro because I've worked there for 6 years. Just let me know, feel free. And that's kind of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.